Hello everyone, welcome to another Monday night at Mory's. Ron Vaccaro, and I'm joined, my first guest, the Joel E. Smilow, 54, head coach of the Bulldogs, Tom Williams, and coach, a 31-28 win over Columbia on Saturday. The team is now 5-2 overall and still only one loss in the league. And your thoughts on that game and where the season stands?
Well, we're thrilled to have won the football game. As I said to our team, we're not going to apologize to anybody about winning and how we win. It was obviously a tale of two halves. In the first half, they turned the ball over, gave us field position, and we took advantage of it. In the second half, the opposite occurred. We gave them the ball, and they took advantage of it. So the result was kind of a tale of two halves. But we have the resolve and the tenacity to finish those games. We executed in all three phases at the end when we needed to do that, and we will definitely take the win.
I think there were, even though the second half was certainly Columbia's half, there were big plays made by the defense even in that half that sealed the win.
Absolutely, and it wasn't a case of us taking them lightly or taking our foot off the pedal. Again, when you turn over the football, you give the opportunity for the team to gain some momentum. But our guys continued to play hard, and we still made some plays in the second half. We just couldn't translate those into points.
7 games complete in the season, 3 to go. Brown, Princeton, and Harvard. Brown is up first this weekend, up in Providence. When you look at Brown, looking back at last year's game a little bit even, it was a game that really on the field seemed closer than the score might have indicated.
Absolutely. That thing got out of hand because we turned the ball over, but when you look at the yards gained, we were moving the ball up and down the field, and we gave up just some big plays defensively that allowed them to separate a little bit in terms of the score. But we think that we are a very evenly matched football team with Brown, and we look forward to competing against them on Saturday.
Second tour through the Ivy League this year. What have you maybe picked up this year or learned or seen that you learned last year that you've been able to apply?
Well, certainly you have a much better feel for the personnel on each football team. I think I've got a much better understanding of each coaching staff and the things that they try to do to attack you offensively, defensively, and also in the kicking game. So my comfort level is through the roof now. I feel like we're going in the right direction with our football team. I think we'll know exactly how to recruit to make ourselves better in comparison with the teams that we play. But I like the direction that we're headed in.
You talk about recruits. We're going to be talking to one of your recruits here a little later on, Dion Randall. Some other young guys making big impact for the Bulldogs already. Talk about the growth you've seen from your freshmen and sophomores.
You bet. Well, I tell you, good players make good coaches, and so if you can accumulate as many of those guys as you can, it makes us all look better. But what we've seen is a young football team from last year that's returning a lot of guys that have played some football for us in the past, and we sprinkled in some new guys you mentioned like Dion, a guy like Philippe Panico is able to step up and make some plays for us, and we've got guys at every position. We've got a lot of depth, and if we continue to grow and take care of the things that we can control, we'll be a good football team.
Must have been happy on Saturday. I saw Alex Thomas said after the game that the game plan was going to be to pound away at the running game and then one would break, and his first one is the one that broke.
Yeah, it happened a little earlier than what we thought, but certainly set the tone for our team. I think you saw the energy and excitement, enthusiasm that we were playing with, and those things become a feeding frenzy, and we talked about that in those terms. Good teams bounce back from a disappointing loss against a team like Penn, and they put their stamp on a game early in the game against Columbia, and we're certainly well on our way to doing that.
Talk about setting the tone, and we've talked about special teams throughout the year. And a high point to make about special teams would be the opening kickoff return from Chris Smith, which really got that started.
We talk about our kicking game being the tip of the spear, meaning that they're the first unit that goes out there on the field to start every football game. And we want to make a positive impression to do that. And certainly to get a long return to start the game was something that we were very happy with.
You must be happy to see, I think it was 9 different receivers used too.
Well, we think we've got a lot of weapons, and people have asked what's the difference between the offense this year and offense last year, and I think that's the difference. Not only is Patrick more comfortable in the system and what we're doing, our offensive line has returned pretty much intact and better, and then we've added some skill guys. We've got guys back healthy like Gio and Chris Smith. We've added Dion Randall and Cameron Sandquist, who had a very auspicious introduction to Yale football. So we're excited about, as I said, the future of those guys as well.
Coach, you said to me after we taped the interview for WELI's broadcast on Saturday, as soon as we stopped the recording, you said you find out a lot about your team on a day like this, how they respond from a loss. And I think that first half answered, if there was any question, it answered it.
Without a doubt. I think our guys came out and made the statement that we said we needed to make. I don't think, after having watched the tape, that we took our foot off the gas. I just don't think we executed as well. And certainly turnovers are always the story on every Saturday in terms of winning and losing. We had 5 in terms of turnovers we got, and they had 4. So when you do that, the score ends up evening itself out. It was really the tale of turnovers as opposed to a tale of 2 halves.
What do you see when you look at the film on Brown?
You know, Brown's a very well-coached football team. I think they've got very good skilled position players, wide receivers. They seem to have a good receiver every year and a quarterback that can get them the ball. I think defensively, again, they're very well coached. They like to put pressure on the quarterback. They give you some isolation outside and challenge your receivers to make plays down the field. I think that they're a team that we match up very well against, and we look forward to doing that on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Coach, and best of luck on Saturday.
Ron, thanks a lot.
All right, that's Tom Williams, back with more from Mory's after this.